We have all heard the phrase, "History is written by the victors." Here we are looking at how consciousness records containing our true history and sacred sciences were stolen and used against humanity. A lie can only stand while the truth is hidden from view. In recent months, more of our starseed family has begun to embody founder consciousness. As these levels of consciousness record are being accessed within human bodies, more pieces of our true history are being recovered. As these true records come to light, the manipulated and counterfeit versions cannot be maintained. Here we begin to weave these new pieces into something more comprehensive, including Thoth's role in stealing and rewriting emerald tablets, in keeping with the negative alien agenda to enslave humanity. This is a long podcast, as tracing the impact through the Luciferian Rebellion, Ioni Massacre, Atlantean Flood, Essene and Egyptian timelines is like working a large puzzle with many pieces. In the timelines before the fall of humanity, when access to the 12th gate and Avatar Christos consciousness was still possible on fifth-dimensional Tara, angelic humans experienced a deep reverence for all living things, along with a holistic and meaningful consciousness connection with the planet as an alive, breathing, interconnected spiritual entity. All angelic human beings had the gift of direct consciousness memory of their true history and origins throughout time, and had the free will option to continue their personal consciousness growth and ascension through the study and examination of the holographic discs that are contained in the original Emerald Founder records. Thus, humanity knew itself as a living and blessed soul expression of one of the 12 tribes connected to the eternal one God source, freed from the external control dogmas used in religions to steal the individual's personal spiritual power, robbing them of self-respect, human dignity, and inner Christos development. The Emerald Founder records contained explicit knowledge about the origins, genetics, and purpose of the human race, which included historical timeline accounts of galactic history, considered to be the divine birthright of all angelic humans. The Emerald Founder records included explicit ancient wisdom teachings on the unifying principles of the cosmic sovereign law of one, in which humans were directly taught how to spiritually activate their light body through consciousness training methods, so they could achieve full liberation as a cosmic Christos. The content held in these holographic discs was being protected by the Founder Guardians in an ancient genetic library that exists outside of time and that was being preserved on the Earth's behalf until more of the humans on the Earth could awaken to remember who they really are. This was designed as a fail-safe protective mechanism put in place during the Covenant of Palador, the Guardian Host plan for the reclamation of Christos' mission. Until the Earth underwent the ascension cycle and reached the threshold in which the crystalline grid was able to hold the highest Christos frequency and the intelligent coding that was contained in these discs, the Emerald Founders assigned members of the High Syrian Council to guard and preserve the sacred wisdom in these holy records for the future benefit of the earth. those that assembled in the Syrian High Council that were primarily in the universal Christos lineages of the Emerald Order and Blue Flame Melchizedeks, were acting as the primary archivists of Earth's vast genetic library and timeline history through the Gnostic process of their own consciousness embodiment. Archivists are responsible for assembling, cataloging, preserving, and managing valuable collections of historical information. In this case, they were also responsible for mapping out the DNA code that functions as the genetic library for all creations throughout the 12 organic timelines. This data was compiled upon a master copy of 12 holographic discs and were known as the original Emerald Founder records, which contain the basis for describing the consciousness mechanics of reality, manifestation, and the unification of all expressions with the eternal, loving, one God source. These discs included extremely advanced technological information about the planetary Templar stargates, ley lines, and spiritual science texts and schematics that are outlined in the Law of One Consciousness Freedom teachings that unify sacred sciences with spirituality. The founder records were also referred to as the Emerald Covenant CDT holographic plates, which originally belonged to all of the human 12 tribes and were the principal spiritual teachings that were commonly understood during the Lemurian and early Atlantean timelines. Each holographic disc was protected and administered to by an assigned Magi Grail King on the Earth, who acted as the main guardian of the planetary stargate of his tribe. The Magi Grail King assigned spiritually trained members of the Essene tribes as keepers of the Law of One knowledge to carry this sacred wisdom through multiple timelines and to protect related information for access during a later time cycle, such as transmitting Essene translations of human historical timelines and galactic wars over the seeding of the 12 tribes, and hiding them within many crystals and other objects that are buried in the earth. During the first Lemurian Holocaust, a massive orchestration to hide and bury the contents of historical timelines included in the holographic disc translations was transmitted into crystals and then buried throughout the chain of the Hawaiian Islands and other island regions. As a result of these efforts to preserve the Christos Essene Templar timelines during the Lemurian Holocaust, these are specifically referred to as Lemurian crystals. This was a method to hide and bury the sacred knowledge about Stargate mechanics and the map of the 12 tribe genetics on the Earth during the galactic wars that were occurring throughout multiple dimensional timelines simultaneously. The Emerald Founder records reveal that there are 12 Essene tribes, which make up the entirety of the collective human gene pool, or are the descendants of universal tribal shield that has been originally incarnated onto this planet from the future timelines of Tara. Each of the 12 tribes are genetically key-coded to their demographic planetary gates location and to that planetary dimensional sphere and its ley line network. When we incarnate onto the planet, we have genetic time codes in our DNA related to the planetary gates dimensional system, and that is a part of our main human tribal identity. We activate our human tribal identity personal planetary keys when we activate our inner Christos by running the 12th dimensional ray, stringing 144 harmonics throughout our light body, otherwise called the 12th dimensional shield. That identity has had many lifetimes that have participated with the consciousness evolution cycles of assembling DNA codes in the angelic human root races evolving throughout the solar system. The original 12 Essene tribes were seated on the earth as a part of the evolution plan that was the result of the covenant of Palador to rescue the lost souls of Tara, making it easier to reclaim these identities when the stargates finally opened during the end of the ascension cycle.